Hello, Kassia.
Hello. I'm so excited to dive in today.
Yeah, I really wanted to have a conversation just between the two of us and all of our listeners and the whole world.
So private, so
Super
intimate.
private, super intimate conversation, just us, about pregnancy and all of the adjacent things that happen during pregnancy or to get pregnant or after, and the stigma and sometimes shame and pressure that women face with that. It's just a lot. And we don't talk about it, right?
And it comes up in every conversation, right? It comes up, because of the professional implications. Like almost every woman we've had on the show has talked about pregnancy or motherhood in some capacity at some point and the influence it had on her. And so it just rears its head again and again, despite the fact that so much of it, is surrounded with shame and stigma and secrecy.
Right. I think about Carly Lloyd, the professional volleyball player who got released from her contract once they found out, like the day they found out that she was pregnant. She was a professional volleyball player for almost 10 years. And then they were like, see ya. Bye-bye. You mean nothing to us anymore.
Or like Winnie Kiru, who had to figure out how to navigate, being a wildlife conservationist and being in the bush and with pregnancy and motherhood, and could she go away and what did that look like? It's just come up again and again, across so many guests. However, the reason it's especially timely right now is why?
Is because I am currently pregnant.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ta-da!
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes. So this is my numero tres, number 3. So I've been down this road before, and something that has really first, this is a disclaimer for all of the women out there who are not mothers but have ambitions to one day become mothers, that the one thing you should know about me is I'm the person you come to when you want the whole truth, right? I'm the person you come to when you want all of the gritty, dirty, real shit about it. So for those of you who want a fairy tale version of this, this is not that conversation. And here's the reality.
Before we dive in, I also want to acknowledge, as somebody who has gone through infertility and struggled with that for any of our listeners who this might be triggering or painful for, please know that A, skip the episode if you need to skip it. I've been there. I get it. It's raw. But B, we're also going to be talking about that and how unpredictable family planning is, despite the fact that we call it family planning. So that's going to come up and be a point of conversation as well.
Definitely. Thank you for that. So I first want to start by just acknowledging that first trimester pregnancy, and for many people even longer than that, and for some people the entire pregnancy, it sucks. It is very difficult. I am the kind of person who becomes nearly incapacitated for at least 3 months, if not 4 months. And I want to just express that truth, because as a mother of 2 other kids, as an entrepreneur and a business owner who has a lot of responsibilities, and as a wife and all of these other things on my plate, it is extremely hard for a flip of a switch to just be okay, you can't get out of bed anymore, right? And in that time, there have been many, many mental health kind of ups and downs. Even though I am going through something that is a beautiful, wonderful, blessing, and I'm happy, and it's not for, God forbid, negative health purposes, but I am growing life inside of my body, and that is a miracle in and of itself. It is extremely challenging to be feeling like shit all the time. Okay, it is extremely challenging to not be able to get up and feel energetic and go do all the things that you normally do, like exercise and work and play with your kids. And it's really hard on your mental health. So for those of you who have been through that, I want to just acknowledge that you're not alone. And it's it takes a toll. Like, even when you kind of remind yourself again and again and again that it's all for a good reason, and thank God it's for a good reason, it still takes a toll. And we need to be kind to ourselves, because that's just the reality. That's just truth.
It's your truth.
It is my truth. Yes.
I am the person you hate because I have blissfully easy pregnancies.
F you.
I have a hell of a time getting pregnant and have a whole saga we can go into. But once it's there, very easy, very comfortable, and, feel so fortunate because I watch dear friends like you go through it. And I truly don't know how you are still standing most days.
Yeah. And I'm not, like, honestly, I'm not. Okay, let's just be clear about that. A lot of days my husband became a single parent. And he had to figure that out. And he also has work, and he also has other stuff. Like, we had a lot going on the last few months. He needed to step up because I could not. And during that time, I thought so much of single parents. So much.
I mean, my heroes. I don't know how they do it. I just
100%, because I couldn't. It's not like I was being lazy. It's not like I was just, oh, this is like a nice time to relax. Like, no, that's not what was happening. I could not step up for all of these things that needed me. So for those of you who don't necessarily have the support systems, for those of you who don't have, just don't have the option, I am sending you so much love. I am sending you so much strength, because that shit is real. It's real, and it's hard.
It is. And I mean, let us just acknowledge the privilege that you and I both have, because I know with my twin pregnancy, which was my second pregnancy or my third pregnancy, I felt fine 98% of the time, but I was so fucking tired.
Yeah.
Like, when I had to go to sleep, I had to go to sleep like then. Like, somebody else better be there to care for my toddler. I said multiple times that if I worked for somebody else, I would have lost my job because I had to just go to sleep right now.
Yeah.
And it might have been like 9:15 in the morning or 3 p.m. or whatever it was. And my body would shut down. And so the privilege to be able to do that and to, just let my body do what it needed to do and have the support systems around me, should not go unacknowledged. I think that's an incredibly rare and incredible place to be.
So true. And I also just want, as you can hear just from the two of us, like, we have had extremely different experiences in our pregnancies, which means that the array of experiences that people have when pregnant is limitless, right? Like, it goes on forever. However, those of us who don't necessarily have a walk in the park pregnancy, we just don't talk to each other about it, right? Like, it's not something that we really acknowledge, because you're supposed to be glowing and happy and joyful, and it's such a beautiful time of life. And so all of those other things, the feelings and the difficulty and the challenges that we face, kind of get brushed under the rug and get kind of overlooked, because there are a lot of women who have difficult pregnancies that it's like, oh yeah, you're going through it. I went through it. We all go through it. And that's not exactly helpful, to be frank. It's much more helpful for a community of people to kind of acknowledge the truth of what it is and talk about it and be there for each other and support each other through it, right? That's something that, like, kind of one point that I really wanted to get across here is that we should be so much more empathetic to other people who are going through this if we have gone through it, instead of just being like, oh yeah, I went through it, you're going through it, whatever. It's not whatever. For many of us, it's extremely challenging, and we need the support system of our female friends to, like, be there for us and uplift us and help us through.
Well, and to ask the questions and to show up with the support. And, like, we just